Hello, my viewers. Welcome to Hugar Social Academy. We are on the second session of the chapter called as Forest Resources from the Geography topic, chapter number 13 of Social Science. Dear viewers, in the last session, we studied about the different types of forest which are been found in the country called as India in the name of desert forest, Himalayan forest, tropical deciduous forest or monsoon forest, evergreen forest, alpine forest. In this form, different forms of forest we have studied. This we very well know that India, it consists of 21.71 percentage of total forest covered area. We are in a requirement to reach up to the 33 percentage of total forest covered area. Then only we can have a proper ecological balance, we can have it. Here in this session, we are going to learn regarding the conservation of forest, what are the methods for the conservation, why the forests are being depleting day by day, and what is the importance of the forest. Moreover, we will even learn about the number of national parks in the different states, and even biological parks, and even some of the bird sanctuaries where they are being located. Even that also we are going to learn in this session. But very important, it's regarding the importance of the forest. Why forests are being so important to us, right? Like how water is very essential to the human beings. In the same way, forests are also very essential to the home to the human beings. Okay, it's not only to the human beings, all the creatures which are been living over on this earth, they are in a deep requirement of the trees. So first, let us understand and let us learn why forests are very important to us. So here are some of the points regarding why the forest plays a very important role in the for the country, or for the people, for the animals, or to all the people who are been living over here. So here it is. If forests are been there, if forests are been there, the forest helps in the way in a providing pure air. We very well know that forest or the trees are responsible for giving the oxygen and consuming the carbon dioxide. Huge amount of pollution which has been moving throughout the area, which damages the health condition of the living creatures. Here the trees helps in to provide us a pure air. It also provides us food in the form of fruits. It provides a fodder for the animals. Fodder for whom? For the animals. Moreover, many, if too much of huge amount of trees are being there, then these trees attract the monsoon winds, which brings good rainfall also. So they are responsible for the good rainfall. If trees are more, right, if the roots are very deep rooted, these roots help us into what? To keep a tight contact of the soil. So if there is a tight contact of the soil, automatically there is a less chances of the soil erosion. So it even helps in the control of the soil erosion. It's a shelter house for animals and birds. Okay, birds and animals, they can't prepare the houses as like us, as like as a human being. But yes, naturally god gifted to them, it's a trees where they make. Okay, some the if you talk about the birds, they prepare their nest on the trees. Animals, they take shelter beneath to the home to the trees. So even house for the animals as well as the birds. Another side, if more number of trees or the forest area will be there, as it attracts the monsoon, so it brings a very good natural scenic beauty, which helps to attract in the way in the tourists, and we visit to the way to those all places. Moreover, even trees are helpful in the way in the giving us the medicines in the form of medicinal plants. Okay, many number of medicinal plants helps in the way in the progress of the growth of the health of the home of the human beings to up to the animals. Moreover, due to the heavy forest, even it helps in the way in giving us the employment opportunities. It has been found that many of the people are been engaged in the way in the work of the forest, whether it is of cutting down of the dried trees, or it may be sapling of the small tiny plants also. Okay, so employment opportunity. And lastly, very important, it controls the ecological balance, right? It's a big duty which has been done by the home, by the forest. So it very deeply it helps in the way in the control of the whole environment, which makes to help us to bring all the things in a way, in a proper way. If trees would be not there, then we suffer or we face the ecological imbalance. So this is a reason there is a lot of importance of the forest. Another side, there is a to have this with importance of the forest. When we study these all things, it directly shows us or it tells us that forest should be conserved. As we said in our topic, we are having 21.71 percentage of total forest covered area. When we talk about the whole India, we are having only 21.71 percentage of area. But how come Madhya Pradesh is the first state who is having a large area covered in the forest area? Like Madhya Pradesh, many other places are also working, many other states are also working in the way in the development or increasing the forest area. So more number of forest area will help in the proper ecological balance. It is Karnataka stands in the sixth position in the way in the forest area. Okay, now let us understand regarding the conserve of the vision of the forest. Okay, and in that conserve of forest, now first of all, why there is a very rapid decrease in the way in the decrease of the forest? It's the biggest question. There are some particular reasons are there which are making or which are responsible for the decrease in the forest area. Among them, expansion of agriculture. The man for the consumption purpose, human being for the consumption purpose, he cut down the trees, converts into the plain surface area to produce the goods for the consumption purpose, for the surviveness. So in that part, it has been found that large area which was covered with the forest is been cut down. Okay, in the earlier days, it was in the form of shifting cultivation. We even call it as a shifting cultivation, where the farmer used to cut down the large area and convert into plain surface area, and he used to take the use of the soil till he gives him the good production. But the day he felt that the production is less, again he used to move to the other place. This cause what it is that shift of the places has reduced in the way in the deposition of the forest. Animal grazing. Now animal, they are in a requirement of the food which we call in the form of fodder. So more number of grazing, even what it comes, the tiny saplings which are been now, they are in a stand to rise up. At the meantime itself, due to as animals starts eating, automatically there is what stop once again of the growth of the plants to reach up to the tree. This is there. Construction of road, railways, as well as the parks, entertainment areas. Okay, now even for this, see, we know very well today that huge stadiums are being made down for the sports purpose, parks are being laid down for the sitting or for the exercises purposes. Okay, roads are being laid down for the transportation purpose, railway lines are being laid down, transportation of movement of the people from one place to another places. For these all things, heavy areas are being required or large scale of area is being required. So here also, so with whatever comes in the path of the making of these all things, it has been found that trees are been what cut down to make for the proper usage of the area. So here also, for the roads, railways, parks, many other things, human beings which he do for the entertainment purpose or for his luxury purpose or for his usage purpose, in there what he is doing, he is destroying the area which has been covered with the forest. Irrigation purpose, again very important source. If because this irrigation helps in the way in the development of the agriculture production. So wherever there is a dry areas or where there is a rainfall is been less, where there is a scarcity of the supply of the water, irrigation method helps to provide the water to those fields. So even for making of the irrigation, huge amount of area is being what it is being converted into plain surface area. So here also number of trees are being cut down. Another side, forest fires. Now this has become a biggest challenge to the all the countries which are there in the world. It's because trees, when they dries up, they are in the form of dead now. Now, due to too much of flow of the wind, when they come into or contact with each other, rubbing of the trunks converts into the form of the forest, and the small catchment of the forest of those trees converts into the big catchment area of the forest. Due to that, many number of trees, even they convert into the form of ashes. So forest fire should is been there. Mining for the mineral purposes, human beings go for the mining purpose. So these all reasons, once again, they are the causes for the vision for the forest destruction of forest. To overcome over this, there are some methods are being there for by which we can what we can do, we can conserve the forest area. So these are some of the methods, like just now we said forest fires. Okay, so the trees which have dried up now, the leaves of those trees will definitely they will fell down. Okay, even they are also been dried. So dried leaves or dried trunks will easily catch the fire compared to the which and compared to the other trunk of the trees which is not dried up. So cutting down of those dried trees has to be taken care. Sapling of small tiny plants should be taken care. Guarding of cutting down of trees, people for the in the quest of earning of more number of money. Okay, whether it is in the form of medicinal plants or any commercial plants in the form of like sandalwood trees been there, right? Huge amount of smuggling can also convert into the form of a depletion of the forest. So we have to guard those forest area. Motivating people to plant saplings, right? We have to encourage the people, we have to let them to know regarding what, why, what or why the trees are essential to us. Okay, why the plant of the sapling of the plant is being needed to us. Awareness has to be done about the forest. It's because when we do the awareness of the forest, these methods which we say it as the importance of forest, okay, these are nothing but it's awareness points are there. These awareness should reach up to the way up to the people, so that people should aware regarding the proper use of the vision of the forest. Now when during the summer season, people are in a search of the shadow of the trees. It's because there is a lack of the trees. But when the season finishes, people doesn't care regarding that, as it's the next rainy season, retreating monsoon, winter season will be there. Okay, so they do not care. But overall, if we judge it, overall if we look over it, if people are being guided properly, what we can do, we can protect the forest. And implementing laws strictly, the regulatory system, okay, the forest laws which are been there has to be very strictly, it should be implemented. If it is strictly, if it is been implemented, then what we can do, we can protect our forest. Okay, so these are our importance of forest, these are our causes for the destruction of forest, and these are the methods for the conservation of the forest. So let us more learn regarding the how many we are having wildlife sanctuaries, and even let us learn regarding the national parks. Okay. So after getting knowing regarding the conservation of forest, now one more important topic we should know regarding our wildlife sanctuaries as well as about the national park. Now wildlife sanctuaries, when we say word itself, it's wild. Okay, now it itself shows what it is, that it's a place of the animals. Okay, sanctuaries, now what does this sanctuary mean? Sanctuary, it means for the protection, it means protection. Okay, now here we are doing the protection of whom? Protection of the wild animals, protection of the wild animals. Now what is the home of these wild animals when it is been asked? Now it's our the forest area. So if forest is been protected, yes, even wild animals can be what, can be protected. So they can be protected in the form of wildlife sanctuaries. So we are having total in India, we are having 567 wildlife sanctuaries in the different states like Tamil Nadu, Madhumalai as well as Kanyakumari. In the West Bengal, Mahananda as well as the Chaparmari place. Rajasthan, Basi, Savai, Man Singh has been there. In the Haryana, Kalesar, Nahar. In the Andhra Pradesh, Kolluru as well as the Krishna. In these places, these are very important. Our wildlife sanctuaries are been there. So totally, these are some of the states. Among apart from that, many more states are been there. So some names are been mentioned over here. So 567 totally wildlife sanctuaries. So this wildlife sanctuaries means it's a natural habitat of the wild animals. And sanctuary what it means? It means for the protection purpose. So here these wildlife sanctuaries are been made for the protection of which one? Protection of the wildlife. In the same way, we are having the national parks are there in India. We are having near about 106 national parks here in the country called as India. Among them, some very famous national parks are been here. Kaziranga National Park located in Assam, Sundarban National Park in the West Bengal, Hazaribagh National Park at the Jharkhand, Gir National Park at the Gujarat, Kana National Park in the Madhya Pradesh, and Tadowa National Park in the Maharashtra. So this national park is also where we people, now here in the wildlife sanctuaries we are restricted, but in the national parks we are not restricted. People are been allowed to reach up to the where up to the animals, right? They are been taken in the cage with the protection, but they can observe the wild animals. So the where human beings can enter in the national parks, but here human beings are been what? They are been completely restricted. So in this way, we are having number of our national parks as well as the wildlife sanctuaries. And as always, I say you that while having the classes, you can make your own notes by just listening also and by observing the things which are been written on the board. So this will help you in the way in the form making of your notes also. Okay. So this is the chapter called as a forest resources, where we learned about the different forms of the forest. We learned about the our importance of the forest, conservation of the forest, and need of the forest, and moreover our wildlife sanctuaries as well as the national park. Hope you would like this chapter, and comment, and if any more are queries are been there, can be brought up in the different sessions of my classes. And don't forget to share as well as subscribe. Thank you.